Welcome to the Chess Channel. This would be our fourth video to date. Today is all about testing our understanding of endgame techniques. We might be able to learn something if we watch other people's games, but to really make an improvement, we really need to get our mind to work. You cannot simply get there without investing time, even if you are a genius. Today we are going to look at an endgame theme, or a puzzle if you like. Once we set up the position, things may look easier than they look, but don't be fooled. This puzzle is easy only if you are able to solve it all the way from start to end. Let us introduce this board, and let's introduce this type of setup. There is a black king on f7, and a black queen positioned on a7. White has the king on e5 and 3 pawns. One of a4, the second on e7, and the third pawn is located on h7. With our setup now complete, we might be able to work out what side wins, always depending on what side is to move. If black is to move, then it appears to be instantly game over. White will never get to promote, and this would be an open and shut case. To demonstrate, you can eliminate this pawn with a check. If the king moves to f5, this queen response will stop this pawn from ever reaching promotion, and this puzzle is now solved in a matter of few moves. There are multiple ways to do this. You can always initiate this check, and if the king moves west, this brand new check will lead to the capturing of this pawn on h7, and again, this would be a matter of a few moves. King c6, this pawn comes off and the game is over soon. If we now allow white to make the first move, things may look easier, but they are still tricky. If you queen here, this game may not go anywhere. Take with a check, and black will be able to secure a draw. King f5, for example, will lead to this subsequent check, and if the king moves further east, this check will follow. King f4 can get you in with this check, and king e4 can lead to this check. With the pawn on a4 coming down next, the only result in this situation will be a draw. With all this in mind, is there another way to do it here, and can you suggest it? Okay, the initial first responses may be relatively easy to work out. What you can do is to promote to a brand new queen with an automatic check. Once this queen is removed, would you be able to continue from this point? We suggest you pause at this point to think things over. We can return in a few seconds to resume. Has anyone been able to work this one out all the way to the very end? If you promoted to a queen, well done. You would no longer be able to lose, but you will not be winning either. King f7 loses to the incoming check, and the queen drops with black's next move. King f8, for example, the queen is eliminated, and you are looking at a mate in just 2 moves. King g8, king f6, king to the edge, and this is the mate you are looking to achieve. If we now consider this king move to e7, the ending is going to be a replica of what we saw earlier. In with a check, the king reaches the back rank, the queen is now removed, and we still have a mate in 2. King f8, king f6, king g8, and this is the mate to end the game. Though this puzzle looks very easy, there is a dark side to it. Let us examine what can take place after white promotes to a queen. We looked at the implications of a move to f7 and the king's subsequent move to e7. Let us look at this picture here. What happens if you place the king here? Come in with this check, and for sure the queen on a7 drops, right? Right, but is it game over? It is, but not in the way you might assume. There are 4 possible moves the king can move to. 3 lose, but 1 move will save the day. This king move to c6 does save the day. Get rid of the queen, and what you have is a classic case of a stalemate with the king having no legal squares to occupy. If you try this check, king b7, this check, and king b8. If you trade the queens off, the white king is too far to reach and cover for his own pawn. Even if he does get there, white cannot find a way to victory. King d4, king a6, king c4, king a5, and this would be the end of this puzzle. King b3, king a6, king b4, king a7, king b5, king b8, king b6. And even if the black king goes east, a draw is still secured. King c8 for example, a5, king b8, advance this pawn, and after the king reaches the edge of the board, this game is now officially drawn. So let us return to our initial setup to try and figure out another way to do this. Promote with a check. Remove the queen, and rather than promote to a brand new queen to only draw the game, there might be another way to do this. We examined the case of a promotion to a queen, but what if we were to promote to a rook? King d7 will result to this check. And should the king find the same square as before, once the queen is removed, white solves the stalemate situation as we saw before and now can easily win. King b6, rook h7, and there is no way black is able to survive. In short, what this study shows us is that promoting a pawn to a queen is not always the best way forwards. In this study, promoting to a queen is in fact catastrophic. Black is not able to lose, but they will not be able to win either. If you promote to a rook, only then white is able to overcome a stalemate situation, and this is how today's study actually works. So next time we encounter a problem like this, we must be able to get in a position to assess the what-ifs for those little moves that may look insignificant. In this case, a promotion to a brand new queen will do all the damage for the promoting site, and an otherwise winning opportunity would have been lost. And with this we have reached the end of today's stuff. I will hope to see you next time, so it's goodbye from here and God bless.